Hey there, StarCraft fans, it's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2. It's going to be Serral and herO today. Maybe the best Protoss player in the world right now against the best Zerg player in the world. Top left is going to be Serral, bottom left it's going to be herO. Man, I am casting this on August 17th, 2024, and the first Esports World Championship is ongoing. Tomorrow is going to be the final bracket. But man, there were like 10 hours of high-level StarCraft the last 3 days. I watched all of it. Woo! There was so much on the line. So many players playing their best. And including Serral versus herO and herO versus herO. And so many incredible PvZs from those matches. I hope they release the replays. But if they don't, then that's okay. I'm glad I got to see them. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Bum, 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 bum. That's the one. That's the one I wanted to be on anyway. Got a hatch first here from Serral. Here on Oceanborn, a gateway first here. Gateway expand timing here from herO. No cannon rushing. No proxy hatch. No early pool. Just good old macro from both of these players, at least for the first couple of minutes. You can shift from macro play to being aggressive at the drop of a hat, especially if you are a Zerg player. So, saturating this gas here is Serral, just one. Oh, I was going to say one at a time, and nope, just immediately saturating it. Cybernetics core into second pylon, into second gas here from herO. And yeah, this is from ESL StarCraft 2 Masters Spring, the 2024 finals between these two players. Incredible stuff, man. And like by the time you see this, the Esports World Championship will be over, and maybe herO won the darn thing. Maybe he did. Maybe the first like premier, excellent, incredible Protoss win in the last couple years is herO winning the Esports World Championship. He did. I'm going to tell you, he took games. I'm not going to tell you who won necessarily, but he took games off of Raynor and off of Serral. Okay, so like, if you're going to do that, then sure, you can deal with Maru, you can deal with Clem, you can deal with any of these incredible other players. If you can get Serral and Raynor, if you can beat them, you're in a pretty good spot. Third base, 236 from Serral, doing it here at his, I guess that was, yes, that was a block. Whatever. Serral had it ready to go for the 16 hatch there at the third location. Anyway, no big deal. Stalker coming in to deal with Overlord stuff. Overlord is right here. He can run to this position. But if it's a Stargate, and it sure is, then you can get that high vision and kill that Overlord, and it really kind of slows down the Zerg player. Man, killing Overlords, dude, it's the worst. Oh, you finished? Okay. It's adept finished. Her shade. Very brave. She needed to get close enough to get a second shade off and come into the main base and see if there's a quick lair or a Roachborn or a second gas or anything, and there's not. So we're a-okay. Everything's fine here. Serral is just doing his thing where he's making 7 drones at a time. Boy, don't you wish you could make 7 probes at a time, huh, herO? Yes, he does. Oracle coming out. Another gateway coming in for the second gateway of the day here. We'll see how many gateways herO makes. And there's the, what did I say? Providing that high ground vision, killing that Overlord. So, Serral is supply blocked. And he wasn't quite ready for it. Oh, that's not good. He's going to be supply blocked for another, like, 10 seconds, which, at this level is brutal. Also, what is this drone doing? Yeah, make a spore. You should make a spore, too. Like, really, you should have spores at your mineral lines. I know you don't want to make spores. I understand that. But if you don't have spores and oracles show up, your drones die. And then you'll lose more drones than you would have if you didn't have a spore. Look, I know it's basic logic. These adepts not going to finish their shade. They're going to fall back for sure. I mean, okay, fine. If you have 3 queens at your base and 1 oracle shows up, you don't have to have a spore. I'll allow it. But there you go. He's got a spore here now. Excellent. Stasis ward. Just dies tragically for the stasis ward. All right, cool. So Serral droning up like a madman. He's up to 46 workers here at 4.5 minutes. Plus he has 6 queens. Plus he has 11 zerglings. And he's got a Roachborn coming in. Oh, with a lair coming in here too. Now, this map presence that we're looking at from herO is really important stuff. He needs to know. He sees the Roach Warren timing. He finishes the Shade and says, hey, do you want to fight some Adepts and 2 Oracles? And the Queens are like, sure, why not? We'll fight all that stuff. And the Adepts and the Oracles are like, oh, I guess not. Never mind. Gonna have to recall these girls out of here. All right. To the 3rd base, which is up and rolling quite nicely. I'm not sure that Serral is planning on getting a 4th base right now. My goodness, he has 60 workers at 5.5 minutes, though. And then he gets a 4th base. I thought maybe for sure he's going to go for like a 3-base Roach Ravager, murder all the things play, but I mean, there's Oracles out. It makes it a little bit tougher. That's part of the reason these 3 Oracles exist. He's not Resident Glaive these. No, these are just regular Adepts. This is a lot of Adepts for not Resonating Glaive Adepts. They are so tanky. Now, this is a finished Shade, too. Oh, my gosh. So they're pinned in here, but they're fighting drones, which is totally fine with them. Finally, some Roaches pop. They're going to be really useful against these Adepts. 6, 7 drones go down. And they're going to finish, oh my gosh, staying in and dying. 9 drones died in exchange for 9 Adepts. Economically, I don't know. Like, just straight up value of those units, no, it's not great. But from an economy standpoint, which is tricky, you know what I'm talking about, though, right? Losing those drones sucks. Guess what? Serral replaced them, like, immediately. He's at 68 workers. He's fine. He's getting a missile attack upgrade. You almost, man, Infestation Pit coming in. I was like, you almost need to make some Hydras here. Just because these Oracles are such a pain in the butt, but they're such a staple, right? All right, so Blink's not done for these guys. They don't want to necessarily push in there until Blink is done. There it is. +1 attack coming in for those Stalkers, too. A 4th base coming in down here from herO. And either a 5th base from Serral, or he needs to move out and start making something happen. Okay, so he's got Roaches coming in. You really want Ravagers if you're dealing with like a ton of Blink Stalkers, though. Just because Stalkers don't do bonus damage to Ravagers. Ravagers have that extra range. Roaches have that shorter range, and they take bonus damage from the Stalkers. And Lings, I wish they were better in these situations. I really do. But unless you just have a bajillion Zerglings, it's tough. It's tough to make them work economically. Like, against smaller numbers of Stalkers, yes, Lings are great. But against huge Blink Stalker counts, it's like, in conjunction with Roaches and Ravagers and Hydras, yes. Lings are going to be just fine. But just pure Lings not going to get it done, friendo. I've tried it. I've tried it, and you never see the pro Zergs try to do it. So, we learn from the pros is what we do. Look at this. Look at this. Blinkety, blink, blink, blink. Nice. Stasis only catches a couple of those Lings. It's exactly what Serral wants here. And he's like, yeah, man. I'll mash in your face. It's all good. Oh, it is multiple Oracles, though. It's herO style. He's going to try to fight these Queens, and he does snipe a bunch of them. Yo. Okay, okay, okay. I did not see him add those extra Oracles into the group. And yeah, they sniped some Queens. Queen count knocked down to 4. Lurker Den is on the way. hero's getting a 5th base, and he is just pressuring so hard with these Stalkers, man. Absolutely fantastic stuff here from him. +2 missile attack is coming in from Serral just now. +2 ground attack from herO being researched at the same time. And I mean, this is pressure, 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 right? This is how you defeat a Zerg player, is you pressure them and do not let them breathe. Do not let them even think about taking a 5th base. Meanwhile, you're taking your 5th base, right? And I mean, they say easier said than done, because it is easier said than done. There's a reason herO's the best Protoss player in the world, right? It's because of this. Stasis? No, doesn't catch anything at all. We got some Zealots running by here. They've got charge. They'll take down a Queen. Why not? They'll fight some Zerglings. Absolutely. Now you have to micro on 2 fronts. Both players here, Roaches, Hydras, and Queens working together against Zealots will get the job done. That's exactly what they did there. So nice reaction time. Lurkers coming in for Serral here. And yeah, we're just sending speed lots across the map, dude. These are charge lots. They are fast, and they will charge and hit you for extra damage when they hit ya. So this is not a good place for them. They're just running into, like, effectively a choke in that situation. It's like Lings running into a choke with Hellbats in it. Not ideal. Not ever what you want. immediately into +3 attack here, too. I mean, herO is just on fire. He knows there's not this base coming. Looks like Serral's going to try to expand to a 5th base at the 1 o'clock. Going to defend it with some lurkers, which is going to be really, really good. Lurkers are great against gateway units. Not by themselves necessarily, but if they're not detected, they're fine. That's the problem with these oracles, is they can reveal that the lurkers exist under that ground and they can be attacked. So Serral, man, really holding off herO. He hasn't lost anything major. This is what I'm talking about. These lurker spines on these zealots are so damaging. Now they're insanely injured, and they're not that hard to deal with anymore. Serral on the counterattack. He says, all right, I've been attacked non-stop. But dude, Chargelots into the 4th base. There's a spine here. 2 spines here. That's not enough. We got to send some units back to deal with this. Drones are getting massacred. Run. Run the drones away. Serral setting up lurkers. Going to try to threaten both of these bases at the same time. Revelation gets tossed. So what, says Serral. You caught a lot of my roaches here. These guys do get cleaned up. Serral coming down the left side. Gonna burrow on in, and yeah, this is, unless you recall to this base, it's probably dead. Ooh, I like the Immortals being added on, though. Really good against the roaches and against the lurkers here. Stalkers doing bonus damage to armored, which lurkers are roaches. The Hydras are worth their weight in gold right now. The Hydras against the Oracles and against everything, really, except for the Zealots, where they're bad. Okay. Well, Lurker survives the defensive position here and the attack by herO. The Nexus goes down. Huge engagement from Serral. Massive play by him. And Warp Gate gets killed too. Serral sets up to try to push here into this 4th base. If he kills the 4th base, it might just be GG. He is maxed out. herO's only in 138 supply. Here comes the Swarm. Archon Immortal going to be the plays, burrowing those lurkers back. They do have Seismic Spines and Adaptive Talons. Here at 11 minutes. Gonna try to spread them out a little bit. There's no storm here from herO. It's just Immortals and Archons. Burrowing in just on the edge of that attack range to hit and threaten these warp gates so that you have to engage here. If you're herO, it sucks. But you can't, I mean, I guess you can. He just decides he's gonna let these things die. Another group of Zealots, 4 of them only, heading up this way, but there's a nice little diverse group of Ling, Roach, Hydra to deal with these guys. They don't like that at all, understandably so. So herO loses that base. Serral's on 5 bases. Income tab looks like this right now. It's favoring Serral, and you can just brute force those Immortals with Roaches, especially with Hydras in the back. There's only 2 Hydras here. We've been turning most of our Hydralisks into Lurkers, and herO says, you know what, screw this. I don't want to fight Lurkers. I'm just going to go across the map and try to kill you. How's that sound? And Serral says, I guess we're base racing then? Okay. Sounds fair, I suppose. Yeah, it's Immortal Zealot Archon. Just walking across the map here. There are some defensive lurkers here. There's a group of Lings, but they don't want to engage with the Archons. They want to engage with the Immortals. Absolutely do these. Why are there Overlords here? I don't know, but Serral doesn't seem too concerned about this. He's just murdering the 3rd base of herO now. His 3rd base dies. Technically it's 2nd base, but it's at the 3rd base location. Yeah, these Lings would eat these Immortals for breakfast, but the Archon's in the mix. Basically, you need Ravagers or Hydras here. Some Lurkers would be good too. And look at this herO just marching down, going to kill another base. Meanwhile, this one's going to die. This is insane. So another hatch down, natural base of herO, and an immense amount of trouble here too. These Immortals dying. Even with a shield battery overcharge, the damage output is just too much. Now we have some Hydras. That's a recall home, a desperate attempt to hold on to the natural base, but I don't see it happening, buddy. herO, I love you, sir. This is too many lurkers. That's a GG. Serral gets the win in game 1 of our sneaky twofer. Ho, ho, ho. Did you see a sneaky twofer coming? Maybe you did. I mean, maybe you thought this would be a base race for a little bit longer, but once herO got effectively cleared up back here and forced to recall back home, that was it. It was one more attempt to break through this lurker line. They've got +2 attack. They've got Seismic Spines. The range is incredible. These Archons are +3, yes, but they were just not in numbers. Archon Immortal against this is great. Just not enough of it, right? It's like how Cracklings are amazing against Immortals, but like 2 Cracklings isn't going to take down an Immortal, you know? You have to have sufficient numbers as well for that to really kick in, for that advantage to kick in. So game 1, going to Serral here. Really nicely done, rebuffing a lot of hero's attempts to harass. 31 drones did die, but I think the majority of those were during that final battle when herO was losing 40 drones or probes of his own, so that's kind of the big deal. 3 Nexuses down, 2 hatcheries down, 18 lurkers died, 13 immortals. Yep, so those are the big ticket items here. Surprisingly, no spellcasters, no vipers, no infestors, no high templar here today. No disruptors, if you want to count those as spellcasters, which I mean, you probably could. I think that's a fine thing to do. Right. Anyway, man, these two are so fun to watch. I hope you're enjoying this Sunday cast. I had a great time casting game 1 of the Sneaky Twofer. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's move into game number 2. Game 2's here on Ghost River. Top left going to be Serral. Top right going to be herO. Let's give Serral a 1 next to his name here. For winning game number 1, man, herO's pressure is so hard to hold off as Zerg players. He defeated many an elite Zerg player in the Esports World Championship, which I talked about in game 1, but man, if you can hold it off, then you can win. But again, it is hard to do. We took down so many inferior players to Serral and Raynor and Dark and Rogue and... Alright, so gonna block the hatch here on Ghost River. Serral says that's A-OK. I'm gonna go ahead and do a 17 hatch here at the third base. No big deal. Bam, 17 hatch. And it's going to be a gateway. No cannon rushing here from herO, just a good old 1-gate expansion. So yeah, the view counts on my videos last week were kind of low, but I think that's because they were watching the Esports World Championship, which, my goodness, I was watching it too. Like 10 hours of high-level StarCraft 2 for like 6 days in a row. Oh, I hope they do it next year, because that was so fun. Deadpool and Wolverine overtook Joker to be the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. But movie ticket prices keep going up, so that is a flawed statistic in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so Deadpool and Wolverine, a fun time. It's not going to win any Oscars. The plot's a little thin. But if you like Deadpool and you like meta jokes and commentary and being irreverent and you like violence, then that's the movie for you. And if you haven't seen it, then maybe you're not a Deadpool fan, and that's A-OK. Are we saving up for a third base here, Serral? Pause, says herO. Are we ready? Are we ready, says ESL referee A. Yes, indeed. 3, 2, 1, go. Ling's checking to make sure there's not a pylon in his natural base. Okay. And then Serral has 200 minerals, and there's being a hatchery right here. Yes. At 245, a little bit late. Little tiny bit late. No big deal. Spreading creep from his main to his natural is this queen. Fair enough. Who's going to finish this? Nope. Oh, high ground harass. Get out of here. Run. Morphing a drone into a spore, a time-honored tradition here in PvZ. And it's a Void Ray first here from herO. Okay, I like it. Burning down the Overlord a little bit faster than being an Oracle and spying on him so that the Stalker can kill him, but other than that, boy. Overlord hunting is going to be coming up here from herO. Hunting for Overlords. And a third base coming up at 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the nose here from herO. So Void Ray into Oracle. This Void Ray already has a kill because an Overlord is dead. There it is, right there on the unit's lost tab in case you were wondering. Been playing the Elden Ring DLC. Oh yeah, you could totally kill that. Totally kill that spore. Free spore kill. Come on. Prismatic align that sucker. Ah, 2 queens. A little bit too scary. A little bit too rich for my blood. Ling, are they going for it? Ling don't usually go for this. Oh, come on. There's 3 adepts and an oracle here. Yeah, okay. So they did their job. They delayed enough to where the 3rd base didn't actually have to get canceled. That's what it's all about. Going to transfer some drones up here to the net 2nd base. Serral droning during all of this. And I mean, honestly, as someone who's been playing a lot of StarCraft 2 over the years, that's one of the tips, right? One of the things, as all races, Terran, Protoss, and Zerg is, can you consistently be making workers even when things are going bad? Even when you're defending against harass? Even when you're attacking? Can you hotkey these buildings and make things while you're being attacked? While you are attacking? Because it's tough. Because all you want to do is focus on microing your things. But, like, I've had games where I've been harassed so hard from mass liberator attacks and Hellion run-bys and Widowmine drops, and I'm losing drones. But guess what? I'm also replacing them immediately. I felt like Raynor, I did. Felt like Raynor immediately. And no, gets killed again. Queen damage against Stasis is pretty great, man. Anyway, that's exactly what all these pros do. It's exactly what Serral does here. You lose a couple drones, but you never stop making drones. Same thing with herO. He loses a few probes, maybe. He never stops making probes. He's making 3 at a time right now, you know? Oh, prismatic alignment plus oracle damage. Forcing a cancel on that 4th base. That's huge from herO. That's massive from our dude. Okay, that's good. He did get a bit of a delay there on the 4th base in game 1, right? I want to call it game 2. This is game 2 today. Okay, Void Ray just wants to die. Void Ray? Okay, Void Ray dies. Too busy microing adepts down here, I guess, which understandable. Void Ray maybe doesn't have as much value as adepts do, just because adepts are great at scouting, and adepts are not great at scouting. They're a little too slow to, like, pop in here, see what's going on, and get out alive. Adepts can do that. Hydroden from Serral again. He might be going back into that lurker play. Wouldn't really blame him. It looked pretty great in game number 1, didn't it? Blink coming in, +1 ground attack from herO. Again, last game he had no splash at all. And, like, I get it. Storm isn't very good against lurkers. They have so much HP. But I really feel like going disruptors would be pretty great. Big fan of disruptor against Zerg. We don't see it a lot. But especially if your opponent's going hydras, lurkers, roaches, ravagers. Could be pretty great to get a big disruptor hit, and not as hard as you might think. But look, we're talking about herO here, man. He knows how hard it is and how easy it is. Overseer gets, my gosh, this is Serral's again secret weapon here is scouting. Yeah, sees the Twilight, sees it researching, knows Blink's done already. So what are you researching next? Yeah, it's charge. Probably not Resident Glaive adepts. We'd see more adepts in this comp if that's what it was. Blink. There it is. And none of the Stalkers have to die because Blink is good. Blink is like a tier S spell in StarCraft, dudes. Never, never, never underestimate Blink. It's great. I mean, anybody who's been watching StarCraft for years and years and years remembers the era when Parting would win PvTs like 80% of the time with the Blink Stalker all-ins off of 2 bases, dude. That's it. Just Stalkers with Blink against Terran, of all things. And it worked. It worked a lot. We don't see it as much anymore. Terrans are better at dealing with it, but for a while there, that's all you needed. Kind of like how Bjorn won a ton of Premier tournaments, especially games against Zerg back in the day with nothing but like 8 racks, 3 base stuff. And he would just show up and murder Zergs left and right nonstop. It was so hard to stop. Bjorn was an animal back then, guys. He's not as good anymore, but that's just getting a little bit older is all. It happens. Yeah, Serral's trying to get a surround on this group. He's trying to, like, box it in to where it can't get out. Uh-oh. Blinking forward here. Zealots on the right side dealing with large... too many roaches there, though, I would say. Queens dying all over the place. Lings want to shut this down so bad. This little forward position that herO can fall back to. Getting hits off on Stalkers, but they're being healed up by shield batteries. It's so chaotic right now. Lings have to get out of there. They wanted to kill that forward position. They couldn't do it. Serral somehow manages to squeak out a 4th base in all of this chaos. He's got 22 drones at this base. He needs to send a whole bunch down south, and he's doing that, again, while dealing with herO at his front door. If herO was at my front door, I would just panic. I wouldn't get a 4th base at all. I'd be like, this is clearly a 2-base all-in. I mean, meanwhile, herO's getting a 4th base, which Serral is basically, he's bright enough to scout that and know it's there. So, like, don't overreact to this, right? Having 65 workers is great. You can probably do more. herO is not going all in on this thing. Ling's running down to this 4th base of herO's. It isn't in trouble. It is an in trouble base, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't know that it's threatened, but it is. I like this one Zealot's like, I can save it. I can save this base for sure. They don't even go after. Yeah, they just force a cancel immediately. Like, they don't even go after the Zealot at all. Transfuses on Roaches is good, so we're not spending our gas on Ravagers at all. It's Roach to tank a little bit. They take bonus damage. Yes, they do. But they're more tanky than Hydras are against... than Hydralisks are against ye old Stalkers. Ooh, that Zealot's alive. He got 7 kills. Look at that man go. Hydras coming around. Okay, so he is going to shut this down, man. He's going to shut down this forward position. Now maybe he can breathe. Now maybe he can get into a lurker den. Maybe he can get up to a hive at this stage. We'll see what he does. Right now he's just pumping Roach Hydra. He says, you know, all I need is Roach Hydra, right? And the Stalker's like, all I need is Blink. And yes, I suppose that's true. Okay, Hydra's leading the charge here. Coming up this choke. Dangerous stuff. Yeah, force fielding it in half. Oh, there is a... Where the heck is this? Oh, there's like one Ravager in this mix. Like the accidental swarm host. Ooh, that's good. Cutting this in half and killing the half is fantastic from herO. He needed that. Making more charge slots. Making more immortals. Got a shield battery to fall back to here at this 3rd base. Meanwhile, the 4th base is coming up, but Serral just kind of marching in. That Hydra DPS behind the Roaches has been great for years now. For a decade now, that's been great. Since they reintroduced Hydras into StarCraft 2. Roach Hydra, a typical composition. We don't see it all the time, but it's pretty great. Nevertheless, these Stalkers have to run away from the 4th base. This group doesn't want to fight against 3 Immortals. Not at all. Okay, so falling back, Stalkers have a place to flee because they're Blink Stalkers, and they always have somewhere to run to, although these guys... Maybe not. Maybe there's nowhere to go. Yeah. Ugh. Into the water! No, they blink. Oh, they're all dead. Okay, you can chase them down eventually. If you put enough work into it here. So if herO can hold on to this 4th base, he's in a good way. No lurkers today. Ravagers with the gas that would go to the lurks. Corrosive Biles. I guess Force Field went down. Army value 100 to 30? Okay, never mind. herO is dead. That 4th base being late as it was. I mean, yes, Roaches are very supply heavy. They can make you think that the numbers are wrong when it comes to army value count, but 84 to 36 is not a lie. This is Serral just absolutely going to town on everything herO has. herO is dead, and that's your GG. Serral gets the 2-0 win here today in our sneaky twofer between these two titans. And yeah, so here's the thing, right? Yeah, for most of the last 2 years, Serral has been beating herO. But at this Esports World Championship, man, herO took major games, like series-defining games off of Serral and Raynor. So he really stepped up his game. There's a lot of the same stuff. A lot of the same stuff we're seeing here. But just the aggression, he had more Blink Stalkers. He was controlling them better. His 4th bases were faster. He was just all over the place. And I think those Zerg players were kind of caught off guard by how much better herO was. So the man has leveled up is what I'm trying to say here. We look at the income tab, and yeah, income just slowly going up towards Serral's favor here ever since the last 7 minutes or so of the game. Pretty crazy stuff, but yeah. Ended up losing 19,000 resources, Serral did, and 20,000 from herO. Really not close enough. And if you lose more resources than your Zerg opponent, you're probably in a bad way. Probably had a bad time, I guess. So yeah, Roach, Hydra, Ravager. No Lurker this time. Ravager's much better against Immortals. Like these Immortals are also really good against Roaches. So, I mean, you probably want to make Immortals anyway, but I'm wondering if maybe hero's expecting Lurkers and had the Immortals ready to go, but then there were so many Hydras and Ravagers that the Immortals didn't get as much value, and that's part of the game. That's part of the game, is trying to figure out where on earth your opponent is thinking about going, how do you react to it, how do you deal with it, and it's tough. It's really tough. All right, good. So that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.